Hello, lovely world. So I was thinking about this as I was trying to figure out what today's video should be, and I realized something. Now, I know a lot of you probably think that this is just a number and it doesn't mean anything. But for those select few of us who believe that this number means so much to that specific person, those are the ones I'm talking to in this video. Now, I know the number 30, if you're in your 30s or if you're not in your 30s, you look forward to your 30s, most of all. Now, I'm not saying, 30s are all that great. And I know a lot of you who are in your 30s don't think the world of when you turn 30 or you're, turning 31 or 32 or 33, 34, so forth and so on all the way until 39. But the fact of the matter is that for me, when I went from 29 to 30, it seemed like a whole different world. It seemed like a whole different, experience that I didn't experience when I was in my 20s. Now, mind you, I went to Vegas for my 30th. And I didn't do that. I went to Vegas a couple times in my 20s, but it wasn't the same feeling as when I went in my 20s. And I don't think I went once to Vegas in my 20s, but I can't remember all of the details of that. But, when I went for my 30th, it seemed so much different because I know, that threshold, some of you may think that threshold from between 29 and 30 is the hugest thing in the world. And for others who aren't quite 30, but will be 30 in the next year or next couple of years, you're thinking, what could be different about being in your 30s than what you were in your 20s or even when you were in your teenage years from 13 to 19? And there's so many different, things I can tell you about being in your 30s, seeing as how I'm 31 now. Like, the experiences that you have in your 20s will be completely different in your 30s. Now, I know I still have a long way to go in my 30s. I have from 32 to 39. There are things that I would love to do in my 30s that I have not yet done. Don't get me wrong. Vegas was a great trip. Vegas was the most amazing thing in the world that I could have done or even imagined or dreamed of doing. But there are so many more, places that I could go to in my 30s that I want to go to in my 30s. Like, I've talked about it before. I'd love to, go to San Diego and just spend a weekend or a week there and just have fun. By going to the beach and, doing the Gaslight District and all of that fun stuff that they have in San Diego. Even going to the safari park or the San Diego Zoo. I know a lot of you have different opinions on zoo systems and having an animal kept in a cage and stuff like that. And that's your opinion. I have my own opinion. I think it's cruel. Some of you may not think it's cruel, but I do as well. Some of you may think it is cruel. And that's fine. You think what you want to think and I'll think what I want to think. But the point is that it's not just San Diego I want to go to. I want to go back to Disneyland and California Adventure in Southern California. I would like to go to, a couple more Comic-Cons here in my state, in my city. And I'd like to go back to Disney World and all of the surrounding parks that have there. And, experience other states, basically. I've been to quite a few states, or at least 5 states. I've been to Ohio, I've been to Florida, I've been to D.C., Washington, D.C., I've been to Nevada, I've been to Hawaii, and there's so many other states that I could, go to that I would love to go to. Like, for example, I'd like to go to Texas and see what Texas is all about. I'd like to go to Maryland and see what Maryland's all about. Anything on the East Coast would be amazing to go to. Maybe not North Carolina or South Carolina. There's nothing wrong with those. Maybe go to Mount Rushmore in one of the Dakotas. I can't remember if it's south or north. I think it's south, but I could be wrong. And, I'd like to go to Georgia and Mississippi and Kentucky and all those other states. I'm not saying it would happen in my 30s, but I at least want to try to do as many states as I can in my 30s. And it may not happen, or it may happen. It's just your own interpretation of what 30s mean. Now, I know some of my viewers are not in their 30s yet, and some of them are probably in their 40s and 50s, and there may be a few that are in their 30s that know what I'm talking about. But for those of you that are in their 20s and have a little bit of ways to go before you reach your 30s, 30s can be considered different if you make it different, or if you experience things that you wanted to experience in your 20s but couldn't until you reached your 30s. Now, I'm not sure if I like the term what 30 is called, but there are a lot that like that idea of having called dirty 30. Now, I'm not saying I do personally, but I know there are people who do. And a lot of, human beings like to go to, places like Vegas for the 30th, or to Tahoe, or, Reno, or some other city in some other state. Or maybe even going down to Southern California and going to the beach for their birthday. Or, going to the Bay Area for their birthday. Or going to Hawaii or some other state. And that's fine. You do what you want to do. For me, I went to Vegas for my 30th. And now, I'm not saying you have to do that too. I'm just saying there's so many opportunities you can have in your 30th years of life. Whether it's your 30th birthday or your 39th birthday. I'm just saying, do what you want in your 30s. Don't let anyone tell you can't do something in your 30s just because you don't know what it's like, or you don't have the type of money or stuff like that. But if you want to do something fun for your 30s, do it. Be who you want to be in your 30s. And I know for me, when I turned 40, those years might be different from when I turned 30, or when I turned 20, or when I was in my teenage years, or when I was between the ages of 10 and 12 that are not, considered teenage years. Those sorts of things are on my mind constantly, of what can be different about this age bracket compared to my 20 age bracket, or my, between 10 and 19 age bracket, or, even before, from the day I was born to my 9th birthday, things like that. It's just a, constant, things are constantly changing from age group to age group. From 0 to 9, it was the same. And then from 10 to 19, it was different. And then from 20 to 29, it was different. Now, I don't know what 31 to 39 is going to look like. I wish I could do everything that I want to plan on doing, but that may not happen, and that's okay. All I'm saying is that you do what you want to do in your 30s when you reach that age, and I'm going to do what I want to do in my 30s for the rest of my 30s, because I still have 32 through 39, like I said. So I want to wait before I go. I want to wish whose birthday is it today? Gosh darn, I can't remember now. It was someone on YouTube. Oh, it was Kelsey Derrick. She turned 30. That's another reason why I want to discuss 30s today. And anyone who has a birthday today, whether you're just turning 20, or you're just turning 30, or you're just turning 13 or 19, or whatever age you're turning between, the day you're born till now, that's great. Happy birthday to every single person who has a birthday today. Whether you're a YouTuber, a normal person, an actress, or an actor, or anyone in the world who has a birthday today, I'm just wishing you all happy birthday. I will see you tomorrow with a brand spanking new vlog. Y'all know the drill. Keep real. Bye-bye.